first book in this series has over 2.6 million ratings on Goodreads and hundreds of thousands of people talking about it on Book Talk, Bookstagram, BookTube, you name it. You've probably heard of it. So the series I'm talking about is Throne of Glass, which surprisingly, I've never read before. So I'm gonna be documenting my journey through this series, sharing my raw reactions, theories, thoughts, and a whole lot of spoilers, but there's a catch. I'm actually not starting with the first book. I'm actually starting with Assassin's Blade. This is a spoiler-ridden reading vlog, meaning I'm going to be talking about the story in full. So if you haven't read The Assassin's Blade, please pause, go read that book first, and then come back. I'll still be here. The unfortunate thing of this series being older is that, of course, some things are going to get spoiled online. I'm only on page 2, but I saw the name Sam Cortland, and I know I've seen that name online. I can't remember if it's like an enemies to lovers thing, or if he ends up dying in some self-sacrificial way. But I know I've seen his name a lot. I feel like he's the one that dies, but I don't know when, don't know how. Also don't know for sure it's him. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's some other dude that dies. Already, I really enjoy this main character. She's not just a killer, she also has this fierceness for protecting innocent lives. I love that she's kind of just like a scrappy 16-year-old. Also, we're getting inklings that Arobynn is maybe not to be fully trusted. Her and Sam are planning on freeing a group of slaves. Sam thinks that there's a specific reason Arobynn sent him on this mission and didn't want them back home. I mean, I know nothing about these characters, so maybe he's a bad dude, I don't know. I love that we're getting to see the things she took from his office and how it's like full circle now included in her plan. She didn't even know about the slaves being traded, yet she still took something that she thought, yeah, that might be useful later. I love this girl. Also, Celaena and Sam's little like friendship, banter, maybe something more, but they also hate each other because they're rivals. I love their dynamic, and I'm hoping the main series you see that dynamic play out even more. I'm assuming it will because it sounds like Sam's the main character, but I love the little banter they have back and forth. Let's talk about this book, shall we? I just finished the second out of 5 novellas, so The Assassin and the Healer, and so far I really love how this is giving us backstory and history with our main character, Celaena. But so far we've learned that Celaena is a part of an assassin's guild. And the one thing I'm confused on is whether that guild reports to the king or is staffed by the king. There is a ruler who has been expanding his empire and essentially terrorizing. Hi, baby. But this ruler has essentially been terrorizing the rest of the continent and expanding his empire. So he's destroyed other kingdoms and completely wiped out populations, forced those people into slavery. Like, he's not a good guy. So it hasn't been fully explained why Celaena is a part of this Assassin's Guild. She's only 16, and we know that she was brought into the guild, I think, 8, so very young age. And there's another character in here named Sam Cortland, who's also a part of the Assassin's Guild, and I think is around the same age as her, maybe not 16, it hasn't specified. I had to unplug my microphone because I think that died. But I'm really enjoying this book so far. I have no regrets over reading the prequel first. I think I'm going to go into technically book 1 with a rich and deeper understanding of our main character, and I'm already invested in her. I already like her. Give me whatever you got for her story. But I'm gonna jump into the third story now, drink my little chai this evening, just kind of relax, and I'll update you if anything crazy happens, but who knows? Okay, ignore the fan noise in the background. I'm air frying some chicken because I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. Also ignore the banks because they're a little crazy. This is sweat and humidity and just needing to wash my hair. I wanted to come on here and say we're only 2 chapters into the 3rd novella, The Assassin in the Red Desert. First of all, already like this master way better than her one back home. I hope he stays as a character I like. And also, I like Ansel, but am I supposed to trust her? Because I have this feeling like, what if she betrays our main character? Is she going to? Is she actually going to be like a friend that Celaena can relate to, peer? Or is she going to betray her in some way? I don't know. You probably do. I do not currently. But I think we're going to switch over to audiobook because today I am making sourdough. But I do need your help naming my starter. With this being my very first time baking sourdough and it being my first time reading the Throne of Glass series, what if we named her Celaena Sardothian? Love a good pun. I don't think that's a throwaway line. I think at some point, Celaena is going to be faced with a witch, and that's foreshadowing that she is going to have to kill a witch. Because I feel like I've read enough fantasy books at this point. Lines like that are not just thrown away. Am I right? The more I listen to the audiobook, I'm just thinking, Ansel's probably... Ansel? I need to listen to her name again. She's probably not going to betray Celaena. She seems to, like, kind of be the one who's helping her and, like, training her in general. You see that? You see how stretchy that is? Anyways, I don't think Ansel's gonna betray our girl, Celaena. Let's hope. There we go. I feel like that's a better angle. I am definitely enjoying this short story a lot. I love all the new characters, and I can't wait to see kind of where this is going. I think where we just left off, they're being attacked, which is a crazy spot to end off, but it had been an hour, so we needed to help the sourdough. Also, can you imagine doing several-mile run in the desert? Because I can't. That sounds awful. I really want to see Sam back on the page again. Maybe I was wrong about him dying? I don't know, but she keeps thinking about him. And also this Ilias guy seems very charming. But also she's thinking of Sam when she sees Ilias. So I'm like, I just want to see Sam again. He cares for her, even if he doesn't directly show it. And I want to see that on the page. Please. But also Ilias seems like a nice guy. And my dog is signaling she needs to go outside. So... we'll be back. If I haven't said it enough times already, I was wrong about Ansel. She is very sweet. She's like that girl best friend Celaena wished she always had. Say goodbye to the big bowl. And hello to our 4 smaller bowls. We're finally at the part where Celaena's being trained by the master. And I have to say... y'all, this master's so much better than Arabin. The master's actually a good guy. I feel like I can't seriously talk about a book while I'm doing this. Our girl so badly wants Sam. Also, the fact she's never been kissed. I mean, I get she's only 16. With her ability as a spy to, like, play different roles, play like she's in high society, or kind of hide amongst people, I'm surprised she hasn't kissed anyone. What's his name? Ilias? I like that the fact that even though she finds him attractive, she obviously... love Sam. Friends to rivals because they grew up together but were always pitted against each other, to lovers, and they haven't even gotten to the lovers part. Also, we haven't talked about this yet, but Sam yelling and having to be held back by other people in the guild in order for Arabin to, like, hit Celaena, like, serve her punishment, and Sam screaming and being held back the whole time. Oh my gosh. You know they're both in love with each other. I just want a short story where they're together again. Please. No, I'm trying to record. Oh my gosh. Ansel and Celaena just got into it. I get Celaena gets, like, defensive and she's never had a friend before that she's gonna lash out. She was harsh. But also, Ansel, control your jealousy a little bit, please. That's crazy. I still don't feel like Ansel's gonna fully betray Celaena, but my initial instinct was that there would be betrayal. I don't know. I really hope not. I want Celaena to have a good female friend. I was right. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Ansel kept looking over her shoulder.
And the world spun and went black.
What did I say? My initial instinct when we first met her, I was happy to put it aside because I really wanted them to have a friendship. This sucks. I think Ansel set her up and is one of Lord Barrick's individuals that's in the Assassin's Guild.
Merchant had mentioned something about a spy among the assassins.
Yep. What did I say? I clocked it so early on, and this book made me doubt my instincts.
Celaena had fired after 21.
Celaena still cares for people, even when they betray her. She would have hit her and killed her. That's crazy. Of course this master knew. He's not a dummy. But then, if he knew that, why did he drink the poison? Maybe I should just keep listening and stop interrupting. I knew I liked that master assassin from the start. He really is a good guy. And I hope that's a character we see again. It is the next day, and we are going to bake this bread. I did finish the 3rd short story. That was crazy. First of all, just have to say, my initial prediction of Ansel betraying her. I hate that I was right, but I was right. She got me there for a second. I definitely thought, oh, maybe this is just supposed to be like a new best friend type of thing. Was a great villain to have in that act of betrayal. And now Celaena's back at the keep and she sees Sam again, but things are kind of weird because there's another chick, but I don't think he's seeing her. I think he's just a nice guy. So we'll see how that plays out. I have to say, though, the fact that the Silent Guild master gave her enough money to leave and she's still staying at the Assassin's Guild aggravates me. Because what do you mean you feel like you owe Arabin anything or like it would be weird to leave? That's called a toxic relationship, sweetheart. You should leave. Anyways, also the fact that he keeps like giving her gifts and saying how sorry he is or whatever, it's total emotional manipulation. I don't believe it for 1 second. And I worry with all of these gifts that he's giving her as like a way to apologize, if she keeps accepting them, but later tells him she wants to leave, I feel like he's going to use those gifts against her and say that's part of her new total. Again, I could be wrong, but I was right about Ansel, and Arabin's a manipulative son of a... This poor man, Sam. Why is she like antagonizing him and trying to make him jealous? Just admit you have feelings. Stop being such a teenager, but she is, so. They made up! Yay! I'm glad that miscommunication trope didn't last long. So we're currently on book 4. She's done the whole gone to the ball, trying to spy on this Donovan guy with Sam. Donovan's guards were actually expecting her, which I appreciated. It's not like she's constantly facing dumb soldiers or dumb guards. And then now she's stuck in the sewers and it's going to flood and she's trapped. I actually really like seeing a side of her where she doesn't totally have it together. She is in danger because it feels like up until this point, like the dangerous situation she's been in, she just fights her way out of and she's fine. To see her trapped and also see a moment where her overconfidence actually was wrong. Like she thought Donovan just had dumb guards, but actually they were anticipating her and had like a planned attack for when she eventually tried to break in to his house. So I kind of like seeing her, I don't know if fail is the right word, but that overconfidence actually undermine her a little bit because it shows she's human. She makes mistakes. She is not the perfect assassin that you'd want her to be because she's also 16. She's gonna get cocky and take things a little too far sometimes. And Sam warned her. Okay, see, I said I liked seeing Celaena vulnerable. Now we're past that point and I'm starting to get worried. Like, I know she survives, obviously, because this is a prequel to the rest of the series. Tell me why Sam has now come to the rescue and he can't get this great offer either. She's about to drown. How is she gonna get out of this situation? Is the water just gonna stop right at the top and then slowly drain back? Like, that's my only thought at this point because they can't get this grate open and it's stressing me out even though I know she has to survive this. Also, of course, Sam showed up in time because that's the man he is. But they just gave us an interesting bit of lore that when she was 9, she almost died by drowning back in her home country of Terrasen. So I wonder what that story is. And if we'll get to hear it in this book or future ones. My guess is the water's gonna stop. Either her face is gonna be facing towards the grate and it's gonna stop right before, or she's gonna have to hold her breath for a minute and then the waters will subside. Oh wow, was not expecting her to need to be resuscitated. Celaena legit almost died. Oh, I didn't even think about the fact the water that she swallowed and vomited when she became conscious again, that was sewer water. Dookie water. So she just gave Arabin all that money, finally. His response isn't what I expected. I thought he would be upset or pull something else out of his pocket to genuinely manipulate her. But I feel like he's still hiding something. Like, I don't trust the guy. Got my eye on you, Arabin. I've got my eye on you. He just said the L word. I have to say, I did not expect there to be romance in this. I thought this series was a slow burn. I mean, granted, if you read this third, maybe that'd be a slow burn. Don't tell me someone else is gonna come along. There's no one better than Sam. There better not be another love interest. ACOTAR was an easy decision. Tamlin sucked from the beginning. I like Sam. I don't want there to be anyone else. I just finished the 4th short story, and we've now started the 5th one. 4th one, I don't remember crazy details, and I feel like I didn't give as many updates, but the ending of that one, revealing that Donovan actually isn't the true bad guy, and Arobynn came up with that lie in order to get Celaena to help them essentially solidify the slave trade in that region, proves how awful of a person Arobynn is. I don't like the guy. I want to be rid of him, and I knew there was something he held up his sleeve. I was surprised that he did let her walk away, but I'm not as surprised knowing what other things he had planned. And now that we're in the 5th story, knowing that he's keeping them from getting other jobs and is charging them even more money in order to have his blessing to start a guild somewhere else is crazy. I did like that in the 4th story, you got to see Sam and Celaena finally be together, and it's so sweet. But we're in the 5th story now, and they're having cute little lovers' quarrels. But she made a comment end of chapter 2, and I forget the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of like, I can't imagine like him ever being hurt or me ever being without him. Something like that. This better not be foreshadowing. I don't want him to die. Please. I like their romance too much. He can't die. That's not allowed. But I'm really curious to see where this 5th story is gonna go. It's called The Empire. I don't know if they're gonna be able to like fully step away from the guild and start their own. And that's kind of where we pick up in the Throne of Glass series. Maybe they take on the Empire ruler. That might be too much to fit in a short story. That might be the big bad guy in the rest of the series. Also, there's been mention of Fae, but they don't currently exist in the world. Like they did at one point, but I guess the gate to that has been closed. And I'm wondering if this is in the same universe as ACOTAR, just a different continent, or if it's just also a world with Fae. I'm curious how that all like interconnects, because I know it's the Massiverse. So is it like Marvel where it's a multiverse, or are they all in the actual like same world and dealing with these things? And how is that going to impact the greater story overall when Fae do come back? Because I'm assuming they come back. Because right now, it's super fun, but it's more of like medieval era and less of fantasy. I mean, there's little hints of magic, obviously, but there's nothing overtly fantastical yet. I think that covers everything. My main concern is the comment she made about Sam, and I'm really hoping it's not foreshadowing. Anyways, we're gonna finish this book today. The audiobook only has, I think, like 2 hours left, so I'm excited! No. I don't want to believe Arobynn right now. He's lied about so many things. I have a small sliver of hope that he's trying one last time to lie to Celaena and Sam's not dead. It's small, but it's there. The hope is there. So the one thing I had spoiled for me in this series, I thought was gonna happen later. Not in this book. This is the prequel. We're not even into the full story yet. What do you mean this character, the name that I've seen around online, is only in one book? And it's the prequel. Like, he's not even a part of the actual series. I'm so upset by this. Also, I think in the context that I've seen this has been in reference to another book that's popular in the fantasy space. This isn't like that. The other character people online have compared this death to, they don't die this way. They die in a battle. Sam was tortured. I think that was the hardest part to hear on audio. Wasn't even his death, which is sad. It was the description of how his body looked when Celaena finally saw it with their own eyes. There's only like, 30 minutes left in this audiobook? What am I supposed to do at this point? I have no hope for the end of this. I don't know where this story's gonna go. I don't know why I'm supposed to care about any other love interest. What do you mean you killed off the love interest? What? I didn't think that was allowed, to be honest. I thought it was like main character, love interest, they'll stay alive. What do you mean? Ah! I'm gonna go into Target. There's 27 minutes left in this book, and I have a theory. Everyone say hi, Penny. I had little inklings of this theory back when Sam had said, oh, I don't know who gave us the deal. I was like, Bad start. Even that's how your normal missions go. I don't like that feeling. What if Arobyn's the one who assigned it? And then somehow Arobyn knows because Celaena figured he just has spies on the mission. So Celaena, for context, just got captured. Essentially like tear gassed, and they were obviously anticipating her. The fact Arobyn had that conversation over going to the house and the second floor story window and all that right outside her door, not a coincidence. This is a master manipulator we're talking about. I don't care how much he pretends to care about Celaena. I think he set her and Sam up. And either he wants both of them dead for trying to leave the guild, or he wanted Celaena to feel awful, come crawling back to him, and just wanted to get rid of Sam because he saw him as a threat. And he saw Sam as like the reason Celaena was leaving. I think Arobyn had someone reach out to Sam with this fake deal, set them up, and then went to the crime lord, told them that they'd be there, specifically about Sam and then later Celaena. And then I think he set Celaena up when she was recovering and in grief, and all of the things he said, I think, was to try to lead her astray, but he knew how she'd respond in grief, wanting revenge. And out of it, he got their money. Like, he got all of that money for them to go away, plus their debts are paid, plus he gets to get rid of his two biggest threats in assassins. Yeah, he's gonna do that. Yeah, he's gonna take out the competition. That's my working theory anyways. I don't trust him at all. Do we, Penny? Not at all.
That was The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Read by Elizabeth Evans.
What do you mean it just ends with her getting thrown into a prison camp? Hate to say I told you so, but I don't. My theory was right. Arobyn sucks. Y'all, this book was great. I don't really know what my expectations were going into this, but I did expect it to not be good, I guess. There's a lot of people that I think tend to rank this lower, at least out of the series, and also with the understanding that Sarah J. Maas wrote this when she was younger. I was expecting the writing to be not bad, but a little lower in quality, and I didn't think that at all. I thought it was easy to read while still maintaining great descriptions, fantastic imagery, and a really solid plot. I definitely didn't realize that these short stories were going to all be connected because as much as they all have their own beginning, middle, end, there was still an overarching plot within the book as a whole, which I really appreciated out of a collection of novellas. But the fact this was just the prequel, this isn't even the main series, I'm really excited about diving into this series. If I was on the fence or hesitant to jump into an 8-book series, this book just made me want to fully dive into it. I think my favorite of the 5 novellas was The Assassin in the Red Desert. I just loved the different setting. I love that the guild was more of it felt kind of like an academy trope, and I liked the Silent Master way more than Arobyn, but I did enjoy Skull's Bay and the 4th story, what was it? The Assassin in the Underworld, because of elements of Sam. And for that reason, we'll just pretend the 5th short story never happened. I said from the beginning, I was pretty sure that Sam Cortland was the name I saw online of people being like sad about his death or his death sticking with them. I figured for that being a name highly attached to this series, he would be in more than just the prequel. Like, that's the part that surprised me. Even if I think this is the character that people talk about dying, I thought it would happen later in the series. This is just the prequel. I could have started with the first book and I would have never met Sam. Obviously, right now, Celaena doesn't know that Arobyn was behind that deception, that plan, everything, even though the reader knows by the end of this book. And I'm wondering when she'll find out, because I feel like maybe that emotional reveal for people who start with Throne of Glass is not knowing about Arobyn until they get to this book. So if they read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and then read this, then they realize the true depth of Arobyn's portrayal. That's my theory anyways, going into Throne of Glass, which is going to be really frustrating if that is the case, that Arobyn doesn't get justice served to him until later in the series, because I'm mad after this book. I want Arobyn gone. I want Celaena to break out of that prison and get revenge on him. And I want her to be the new queen of the Assassin Guild. But despite my heart breaking at the end for Sam's death and the way he died, I did enjoy this book. I think I would honestly rate it a 4.5, 4.75. I was leaning towards 5 stars at one point, but then I feel like there's not room for the rest of the series if I rate it so highly now. And there were some parts that felt a little slow. Like, I enjoyed this story with the healer, but I also didn't see how it overall connected as well. Like, I don't think it was needed to drive the story forward, but I did think that story revealed more of Celaena's character and just emphasized that she not only cares about people, but wants them to be able to protect themselves, which is a great quality in a main character. I'm going to continue to process, and I'm excited to finally move on to, I guess, technically the first book, Throne of Glass. But unfortunately for you, you won't get to see my thoughts until the next video. See you next week! And we're gonna... I can't, hold on. Son of a gun.